Look at me. Look at me, girl. Come over here. Look at me. Look at me.
This is Man Cave Talks, bro. Welcome to Man Cave Talks. We talk about everything and anything. We'll talk about politics, your sex life, drugs, religion eventually. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about colleges. And does it make sense to take out a mortgage just to get a degree?
You sound biased already.
I would not take a mortgage to get a degree.
All right, let me talk. It depends. It depends on what you're trying to do, man. It really depends. Like, you know, if you're trying to be a doctor, of course you want your doctor to have like a college degree, even, you know, a medical degree, PhD, whatever, master's it is. Nah, man, you want someone who knows what they're fucking doing. Man.
They have credentials.
They have that fucking credentials, man. And of course, you're gonna spend that much money. You might as well fucking shoot for the stars, you know, be a doctor. I wouldn't go to college for fucking English class. First of all, I already speak English.
No, but talk, man. That's 100%. One of the things that I really don't understand is that people get into all this debt when it comes to colleges, and they don't even know what they're gonna do. So they're basically going in there guessing that they hopefully find out what they're gonna do. It's a fucking scam. It's a fucking scam, bro. Like just like Jose said, I don't think everything is. I don't think you need a degree for certain things. I definitely want my lawyer to have a degree. I definitely want my doctor to have a degree. But I don't care about, you know, my mechanic. The fuck? Yo, this just gonna do my light. Nah, so, you know, I definitely want my doctor to have a degree. I definitely want, you know, my lawyer to have a degree.
I think the issue comes with the debt. I mean, you know, is what they're studying gonna pay off in the long run?
Correct.
Or they're gonna earn minimum wage, or like, let's say, what's the minimum wage now? Like $12, $13 an hour in Massachusetts?
15, yeah.
Okay. So, do they really have to take on all this debt to just make $15 an hour when you could just get that without it? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Man, they have all these online courses that, you know, you could get for under $100. I would teach you most of these things. You don't need to. I'm sorry, but it's more. In most cases, people go to college just to say, I went to college and I graduated. Little do they know that's actually a step back. If they're not, I'm sorry, if you're not being a doctor, you're not being a lawyer, you know, anything that requires something like that's very.
Yeah, it's like something that requires you to really know your shit, and you need that piece of paper to show people, yo, I know my shit. Because how you gonna hire a doctor without any credentials? I mean, like, I'm just giving you.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, people hire police without credentials. So what?
But I feel like police need a degree. I feel like police need to take at least an associate's.
Correct.
You know, in criminal psychology, something like
definitely
that.
Psychology, that's for sure.
Like you got these rent-a-cops going into school for like 6 weeks, and they got their badge, and now next thing you know, they're stepping on people's necks. Like, I know what I'm doing. Nah.
Yeah.
I think the issue also with the whole degree thing that's a turnoff is student loans have become so available that colleges are not stupid. They increase their tuition because they know these kids are just going to get a loan regardless, and it's going to be covered. They don't have to pay anything out of pocket for the 4 years. And then what happens? They graduate from school, and then they get a job making $40,000. They owe like $300,000 in debt. And the government's going to give you the money. They know that the government, if the kid goes through Sallie Mae, they're going to get that loan approved. You want $100,000 a year is approved.
Government insured. That's the problem.
That's the issue. And then the issue is they come out of school, and the amount of money they put in to actually get the degree, they're not able to pay it back because the kind of jobs they get straight after. When you get a job, you're not going to get the highest paying job. These companies are looking for people with experience.
But you can't get experience unless you have experience, which is stupid. It's retarded. You can't even get a job unless you have experience, and they don't give you a job for the first time.
But there's a lot of companies like Google that are offering, you know, positions without a college degree.
Coding. Coding is one of them. You know, I'm a big believer in careers that require, you know, certifications, because that's very focused on that particular craft. You don't got to take all these extra classes that have nothing to do with whatever you're trying to do. And meanwhile, you got to pay for it, and that's putting you in a hole. You got to buy books. You got to, for food, you know, you got to pay for transportation. You got to pay for dormant. You got to pay for clothing, for everything that takes place into that campus. You got to pay for stupid ass classes that you probably will never ever need. So I'm a big believer when it comes to your certification courses.
The best thing you can do if you're going to go to college, make sure you're choosing a career that you need a degree. don't go to college if you're going to become a programmer or do IT. You don't need degrees to do IT for the most part. You may need it if you become like a director or a management, but for the most part, an engineer, you don't need it. Just get your certs. STCM engineers make over 90 grand from the beginning.
Even without that, no degree, no certificate.
You need so, but if you're going to need a degree, you have to save your money, go to a community college for 2 years, live at home with your moms, and then when you're going to go to the 4-year degree, that's where you go to a real school, like a university. You go to university, you get your degree. You also look into these programs. There's programs out there like Year Up, City Year. They can also help you out with like internships and things of that sort. Make you bypass the college from the beginning, get a job first. You can go that route also. Do your research, first of all. But make sure if you're going to go get that degree, have what you're going to do in your mind from the beginning. You don't want to be those type of people that go to college and they change their career every year and end up going to college for 7 years.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you're doing is packing up debt. And then the issue is, since college is like a credit card, you don't even see that you're packing up all this debt because you don't even care.
Now, hold up. I can see Tito. He wants to talk. He's like, ooh!
I want to talk for 5 minutes.
He's like holding his breath. He's like, oh, I want to talk. So
And then he shits.
Because college really pisses me off. My problem with college is obviously the cost. You know, I feel like it's overpriced for what it actually gives you back in return. You know, your ROI, yes, you can make more money in the long term, but it all depends on the field of study that you're trying to get into. So I think the main issue with college is that a lot of students go in blindfolded. They don't know what jobs are in the market, how much they want to make, what their passion is, or what they want to get into at all. So it's like they go in, I don't know anything, they just take any courses and probably fail them, and then they have to retake them and do them all over again. So I mean, I think college is worth it if you know what you want to get into. You know, if you're going to college for a position that is in high demand, you know, go for it. Because if you have experience and college, you know, you're obviously going to be the go-to candidate that employers are going to look for. One thing that I do think is important is that when you go to college, you do need to get some sort of work experience. You know, get that work experience in the same type of field that you're in, so that when you do graduate, you graduate with your degree in your subject, but you also have experience to show, hey, you know, this is what I did with that degree. And then that's what really employers are really looking for. Then you know you can go get that tuition reimbursement if you want to continue to a master's or something else, or something of that sort. I think that would be helpful too. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, you got a point. I mean, the one thing that I don't agree with when it comes to colleges, you know, even after graduation, is that some jobs actually look at which college you went to, right? So I went to college and I dropped out. I did about 2 years, and honestly, I gained nothing from it at all. I actually gained more from experience once I was already working in the field. In my type of field, you know, one of the things that you need is supposedly is a college education and, you know, certifications. I had neither. You know, I still don't have either, and I think I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm a real estate investor. I do day trading and I do, you know, my IT job, whatever. But it's definitely not needed. And mind you, if you really want to make it, you don't need college, bro. Like, you can become a real estate agent. You can sell real estate. You can become a real estate manager. Come on, man. It's just,
I know property managers that make bank.
It's just no need. I don't find a need to go to college unless you're gonna be a lawyer or a doctor. Other than that, everything else you can learn somewhere else with specific courses that don't require you to spend money or waste money on any irrelevant course.
Yeah, I think starting with the end goal, you know, reverse engineering your goals. You know, if you want to become a doctor, then obviously, yeah, you know, you need that degree. You want to become a lawyer, you need the degree. If you want to, you know, get into business, you know, you don't need the degree. You know, you can start finding a mentor or somebody that will give you an opportunity that is in the field that you want to study.
I even know people that graduate from school, they have a degree, and they can't even get a job in the field they got the degree, and they're working at Dunkin' Donuts and stuff, man. So,
why are they doing that?
It's sometimes you just depends on what kind of field you go on. You might not be able to get a job. It's just those jobs may entitle, you need experience.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. It's important. You need to really go into college knowing what you're going to be studying and making sure that the job that you want is in high demand.
Correct.
So it needs to happen, because if not, you're just wasting your time
And money.
Something that's irrelevant, you know.
And money. Yep.
Money.
Yeah. So here's my 2 cents, because you guys are strictly looking at it in a financial way, like, you know,
Which is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I'm sorry, but everything here revolves around money, bro.
Okay, I get it. So there is a huge financial aspect, and sometimes that really cripples people, especially if you get a degree and you didn't get a job or pursue a career that had anything to do with that degree. But sometimes these jobs, like, they'll look at this degree, and even if it doesn't have anything to do with the job title, they'll be like, you know what, this guy stuck it out for this sort of degree, and he finished it. He was able to get it, and that shows us like a lot of potential, that you're willing to do things. You're willing to complete goals, and that was one of your goals, and you complete that goal, and that's really impressive. And then there's certain jobs where you have to demonstrate that piece of paper just to show them, like, look, I know what I'm talking about. But and then there's the passionate side, right? Some people don't care about the money. Some people just want to do something that they're passionate about, and they really want to understand the techniques and the nuances of the career that they want to get into. You know, like art. Like, do you really need a degree to be an artist? Not really.
It depends.
Not really. Like, you really don't need a degree to be an artist, because art is subjective, right? So it can, anything could be an art. But if you really want to understand, if you're super passionate, if you want to understand like lighting and gradients and different color spectrums, and how light bounces off of objects, or how muscles move, so that way you can capture it, on screen. Those sort of things, like, you want to go to school, because sometimes those are the only places, those are the only institutions that you'll learn these sort of techniques. It's very hard and time consuming to basically go on YouTube or Google and filter out the information that you truly need. Some of these places know exactly what you need, and they'll teach it to you. And that's why certain schools cost so much, because they know how to get to the business. They know how to get to those sweet cheeks.
But listen, to go back to your point, right? So the first person that you mentioned regarding college is that if one of these jobs, all they want to see is you completing something, then I guess school itself shouldn't really matter. You could get that same degree any school, community college or anything like that. So when people go to these expensive ass schools just because of the name, that's what I think they get, they're really getting wrecked.
Nah, because of the pedigree. You gotta understand the pedigree.
Bro,
it's very
but it's not worth
because some schools you go to Harvard, you know how many doors open up for you just for the fact that you went to Harvard.
But how much are you in debt?
But you don't even need to graduate. So many doors can open up for you just for the simple fact that you went to Harvard. Maybe some doors are open just for the simple fact that you went to the same school as somebody else. You don't even need to finish at the top. You'll be in debt. But you know what? Sometimes going to these very prestigious schools can just the name alone will give you the opportunity to pay off that debt. One of the most important advices that I would give to these younger people is, if you don't know what you want to do, don't go to college yet. Correct. Take a year off. You can still get into college. You can still reapply for those loans, for those scholarships. You really need to know what you want to do to make it worth it.
Right. Because the earning potential is more with the degree, technically. It's not guaranteed, obviously, but it's what you do with your degree. But people that do have a degree tend to earn a lot more than people just with a high school diploma. And, that's factual. But not everybody thinks like us, And we got to understand that. Some people go to college to get the experience that they probably wouldn't get otherwise. They need to network. They need to have a disciplined type of education where they're learning, and they have to go to a class. And
they need structure.
They need structure. Not everybody has that. So I think some people do need it. And again, is college worth it? I think it is for some people.
But I think it depends on the persona, on the person. None of us here graduated from college.
You're right, but we still have to.
He dropped out. He dropped out 5 times.
I dropped out 5 times, but I still have to go through some sort of structure of a course to learn and get to where I'm at.
I understand, but also depends on the person.
Listen, man.
We all dropped out of college. and we all found way around it. We found ways to be successful.
Well, it's a will, it's a way. I went to college.
Will, the way. Like, bro,
I went to college for 2 years.
Let's say I don't go to college, and I can't figure out. I can just become a real estate agent. Just getting into that game. Just you can find ways around. Become an entrepreneur. Open up a business.
The one thing that will teach you everything you need to know. Unfortunately, even after going to college, you're never gonna understand this. It's experience. You're not gonna understand it until you get it. Trust me. Everything requires experience. College is not gonna teach you what you really want to know, because even let's just say that college teaches you something in a specific way, right? It's not how well you know it. It's how well the company wants you to do it. So sometimes it's not even learning about the education. It's about learning the process of that company, how they do things. That I learned the hard way, because in many positions that I had, what I knew didn't even matter. It's how they wanted me to do things that mattered. Is college worth it?
Nah, not for
again. No. Again, certain careers, I believe it is. But the majority of what they have to offer out there, I'm sorry, you could get it somewhere else for a lot cheaper. That will save you the burden when you graduate.
I just feel like college is overpriced too. You know, like if college was free, I think everybody would be like, oh yeah, college is obviously worth it.
But the caveat to that, if college was free, people won't take it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's another one.
I don't think so. I think.
Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. The majority will not take it seriously. They will take it for granted.
Look, man, if I was gonna owe $100,000, I bet I fucking owe $100,000 to Harvard. That's what. If I'm gonna owe $100,000, I might as well owe to Harvard. If I got the degree and I still owe $100,000, at least I can be like, yo, I went to Harvard.
That's a good point.
I think it's worth it.
Nobody's gonna pay you for that debt. Nobody cares. You're not gonna be guaranteed a job. But if you go to college, get that degree, and you find a position that you can get paid, $100,000 or more, then of course, yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah. If I want to become an MD out of it, or a CPA or a lawyer, I think it is worth it.
Well, it better be, because I don't want you, serving me if you don't have a college degree.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
fucking YouTube lawyer and shit.
I don't know many degrees where they offer and it wouldn't be worth it though. Like, can you name a degree?
A social worker. I don't think you need to go to a 4-year college for that. And if I do, again, and if you do go to college, I'm okay with that. What I'm really against, besides the cost, is all this extra classes that they make you pay for, and it becomes a requirement. That is my issue with this. That's my issue with going to college.
You're talking about the electives?
Yes, and you got to pay for that. And if you don't pay for that, you can't get a degree. That's the issue. It's necessity for no reason at all.
So you're more into like specialized education.
It's specialized 100%. You want to learn something, you go for that school just to learn about that, nothing else. I don't need to know about history. I don't need to know about arts. I don't need to go to the gym over there, do nothing but that class.
I mean, it's also good to be well-rounded.
Yeah, but you're paying for that well-roundedness. That's the problem. If it was free, 100% for it, but you're paying for that. That's the problem.
I think now too. I mean, there's just so much more accessibility to online education, and there's like so much information that we can get online too. So it's like we can also learn on our own. Obviously, not everybody takes that initiative, but I think the learning aspect of college and just learning in general, I think it's constant. It never ends. You're always gonna have to learn something new, even when you get the degree. And you're still, you get your job, you still have to learn in your job. You still have to take courses consistently. Teachers take courses all the time just to stay up to date. And with technology, I'm sure the certifications that you took, 5 years ago probably are outdated now. And you have to continuously educate yourself on a consistent basis.
Correct.
But do you really have to pay for another 4 years for college?
No.
I don't think so.
No. I mean, put it this way: if you become a real estate agent, you pay one time for the exam, and if you want to renew it, you pay a small fraction, and you take an online course for 8 hours. That's it.
Right.
You don't need to go. You don't need to take the whole thing again.
I agree that college isn't for everybody. I mean, that's a fact. I don't think it's like the end all be all. If you don't go to college, you won't be successful. That's a lie.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's good to start with your goals, what you want to do, what you want to get into, get that work experience, and get the education, whether you get it on your own or through college.
And
I don't think anyone has ever said if you don't go to college you won't be successful though.
I've heard that.
I've heard that
plenty of times.
That's like a saying that in Spanish.
I've never heard that.
Well, you're lucky.
Very lucky. It's
you're
an
lucky.
old way of thinking.
If you're gonna go and you already have your career in mind, try to see if you can get certificates. Try to see if you can get an internship doing that position before you go to college. Because a lot of things you don't need a degree just to get a job. Like a lot of companies offer summer internships. State Street has summer internships. Companies like that offer summer internship while you're in high school. So even before you even ready to go to college, you can get a summer internship. Do things like that if you're that young. You gotta give Tito his dedication, bro. I dropped out once. I said I'm not going back. College is worth it, depending on the career you're going to and making sure that it's high demand. But please let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like I said, this is from our opinion. We want to hear everyone's opinion on this subject. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe and the bell. Don't forget that bell so when we put up those videos, you guys be on it. And we out.
We out.
Yo, I'm off this shit. I'm about to go to college right now and show y'all. This shit's worth it, son.
I'm gone, guys.
And I'm gonna work at McDonald's because I got my Harvard degree, son.
Yo, he stayed there.
Yo, Carlos, you can blink now.
My nigga, if you tell me
Blink twice.
I'm working on it, guys. It's not that easy.
Mind you, he might have to go to college for IT though.
Hi, Joey Crack.
Did you just say you enjoyed crack?
I said, thank you, Joey Crack.
I think getting.
I was gonna be like, sell them bricks.
Yo, sell them bricks.
Just sell some crack, bro.
Spread those cheeks if you need to pay for that debt, son.
We got a pocket full of ones, man.
Do what Tito did.
It's like I'm debt free.
Do what Tito did. He dropped out 5 times. He spread those cheeks for nothing.
He about to go back next semester.
I'm gonna plug something. Don't worry. No homo.
Don't force it. Don't force it.
No homo.
And the topic.
You don't gotta summarize. It's only been 10 minutes. It's not like they forgot everything we said. They'd be like, what the fuck did I just watch?
How long? 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
Starter.
Hold on. Yo, wait. My battery's down. I gotta plug it in.
This
come on.
nigga. You know what? Let me get a piece of chicken. Hold up. Let me eat something real quick. Let me eat something.
Where did you pull that out of?
Yo, he pulled out a whole plate.
Let me put some broccoli in my mouth, bro.
How the hell you? So me, I dropped out.
Wait. We have the timer at the very top of the screen.
He froze. He froze.
Man, froze. I'm working on it.
Yo, you look mad cheesy, bro. Take a screenshot of that.
Yo, they're not even gonna notice.
He's still frozen.
It's work in progress, guys.
He looks happy as shit right there.
You know what? I'm gonna put something over this so that way people don't even notice.
Motherfucker.
It looks exactly like you. Whatever I'm putting up here, it looks exactly like you. Believe me. They won't even notice.
Yo, watch it be like a gorilla or some shit. And it's crazy, right? Because they're looking for people with experience. I'm sorry. And it's crazy because they're looking. This coffee got me wired.
Cocaine and drugs.